Now, starting Twins Unlocking the Future of XR Plus AI, a speaker presentation by Devanshi Jhawar and Daman Ahuja from XR Vision Labs.
Hello everyone, my name is Daman Ahuja.
Hi, I'm Devanshi Jhawar.
We are gonna speak on a topic from data to dynamic twins unlocking the future of XR plus AI. So our topic is basically digital twins. Let's start the presentation first. Imagine a mirror that doesn't just reflect what is there but predicts what's next. Actually, digital twins are a mirror of the real object, which which simulates the exact thing, but also predicts the future, not just simulate it, the current timing. It can be processed with power of data, IoT, and AI, and can simulate and even predict what's next.
Yeah, so like in simple languages, for example, there is a car. So I create a 3D model of the car, and suppose the manufacturer is not like getting the car in the store. So what we do is we create a digital twin before so that people can experience what the car would feel and what its specs would be, so that even if we manufacture it, they know what they want to buy or not. Uh, so the concept of digital twin actually came back in the 1970s in NASA. So what these guys used to do, they used to create their aircrafts and spacecrafts model on AutoCAD. But they just like used to see the designs. But what about how it'll function, how it'll look? So they added IoT in it, and then they added data in it, and then they created a full on digital twin of their spacecraft. So that's how it started.
And what are the core concepts of digital twin? First is we have a physical object that we are going to twin, and then we create a digital model out of it. That's a 3D model, just a basic 3D model, which is the replica of the exact thing. And then we integrate the data, like we get the data from the real model and integrate it with our digital model. Then we have a analytics layer, which consists of AI and ML algorithms. Also, the last layer, the most important, is the XR interface, like the how the XR can enhance everything. It can enhance the digital twins also. Like we have our working digital twin, but in when we view it in XR, it can be even more better. Like as you all know, XR is supposed to be realistic feeling. So if I have a simulation of, digital twin of a car, I can view it in XR and can feel it even more real. So that's the core, concepts of digital twin.
Okay. So let's now talk about possibilities. That what kind of possibilities does digital twin have? So basically, you can twin a literal toaster or a equipment at your home to a human being also. Like for example, if I want to create a digital twin of my home, I can do it. Like I can control from my phone like what all things are happening in my home right now through my phone only, like see a twin of it. And I can twin a human also, like what all functions are going on in a human currently, we can twin it also. So basically, it has endless possibilities from industries to offices to towers to cities to humans, everything.
Everything which can compromise IoT devices and everything. And, uh, also, the digital twin is also called the smart digital mirror, actually. So, like, as you can see, it's a physical asset and the same has a digital twin of its own. For example, we can make a digital twin out of a telecommunication tower. So basically, when we construct it, when the companies construct the tower, they don't know if this tower will be able to handle this much load and everything, and will the signals be okay for it and no or not. So they create a digital twin out of it and place it in a real world situation by coordinates and test it out there first. to check its capability and everything. So that's just a smart digital mirror, which can which is even smarter from the real world. So basically, that's the point.
Yeah, and like you can just add data there. Like for example, if I want to add more equipment on the tower, so how will it react in the real situation if we add more equipment? It will tell us that also. So it's just a very basic example, but it shows that how things work. Also, XR experience. Basically, that's a very vital part. So, digital twins don't really require XR in them. Like they'll visualize on a 3D dashboard also. But why XR is because, like, for example, we just gave you the tower example. But what if we can see the tower in its actual terrain, where it is placed on the coordinates, and experience that in XR and manipulate the data on our own? That makes it even more real, and it helps the technicians to know that where should we place the equipment, how it should be placed. So even the things that we cannot access through the data, we can access that in XR.
So we can also have digital twins of organization, not only of objects. Like for example, we have large manufacturers like BMW who have created digital twins of their global factory networks. Like they allow virtual walkthroughs, operational simulations, and collaboration across all sites to boost efficiency and sustainability. Exactly what they do is they have a digital twin of their factory, and we can have a walkthrough of that in VR. So basically, they can visualize the whole factory without even going there, and can also manage or simulate the whole factory's process on just VR and the digital twin, and also they can check if something will work or not. The basic concept of digital twin. Also, NASA has also done the same with large-scale digital twin of its research campus to manage facilities, safety, and maintenance more effectively.
Yeah, so like let's take an example. These are the very big firms. If we take a very small company, but what happens is that they have many equipments, yeah, fragmented in their company, and they need to manage that equipment. So, for example, I create a digital twin of their office, and as soon as they have a equipment problem, or as soon as they have any problem in their office infrastructure, they just get to know just by their dashboard. So it makes things so easy that, for example, if a fire alarm goes on, you don't have to look and figure out that where is the alarm going off, what is happening. You just get the alerts in real time. Okay, so benefits. So obviously, as you can see, there's an image. It's like a real image from a research study that it was 60% efficiency when people were just working on manual labor, and it's 95% efficiency when they are using digital twin. So basically, what happens is operational efficiency is very much improved because, as I gave you the example of the organization, you don't have to monitor everything manually. Also, you can do predictive maintenance, which is that, for example, I can see that a socket, or like something is holding too much load. So basically, if it's holding too much load, there's a high probability maybe a short circuit will happen or anything like that would happen. So it would predict in like half an hour or 1 hour in advance, so that people can go and check before something happens. Obviously, it's very cost saving. So, like for example, if I have to employ 5 people to just manage the whole thing, but now I don't have to because my whole dashboard is managing everything. And I can also view it in VR or MR for that matter, so that we can know what exactly the problem is. Also, it's very much faster compared to the actual manual labor. So it increases the productivity of the whole factory and the workforce itself.
Also, let's discuss about what are the challenges and future trends of digital twin. So the first challenge is obviously security and data privacy. Like if you see that every data from real life is coming to the digital twin. So where's the data privacy? But the whole industry is working on it, and I mean, can ensure the that data is private. So I guess we'll be working on data privacy soon, the whole industry. And also the second challenge is integration complexity. Like the integrating of the real data with digital data is a bit complex. Like if I have a data that the bulb is on. If it's not IoT, then and not smart bulb, then we cannot get its information to the digital twin. Also, the future of digital twins depends on the future of AI. Like digital twin whole is based on AI only. We create a model of it, we replicate the physical thing in a real world, in a digital world, and then everything is managed by AI only. So it depends on, it typically depends on future of AI. And lastly, emerging technologies. So basically, if I have a digital twin of my house, I have integrated it with every technological item I have. But sooner or later, the technologies emerge and I get a new technology, then I will have to update my digital accordingly after and after. So it's a bit of a problem. So these were the challenges.
Yeah. So actually, as you know, like work with Exavision Labs, like we are the founders or co-founders of Exavision Labs. So what we did is like we created a product known as Tele. So basically, it does exactly this only. We create 3D towers, like we create 3D AutoCAD models of 2D tower drawings, and then this is our dashboard. So we deploy this whole tower into our dashboard, and what you can do is, so basically, if it's an antenna, I can just select the antenna and I'll know what its IoT components and sensors are emitting. If I select a RRU, I like these are very technical terms, but I'm just talking about the equipment. And what I mean is that we can choose every equipment one by one and we can tell its IoT integration data in just a second. Also, there is a thing called structural analysis. So, if somebody is working in telecom, they might know. But what happens is that let's take a very simple example. If there's a pole, it won't fall. But if I keep putting on load on the pole and we don't have the actual amount of load that the pole can take, eventually it will fall. So that what structural analysis actually does. So what it does is that we can calculate how much weight the pole can take and in how much wind pressure it can do so. So like what happens is that when uh, they have to put any equipment on the tower, they have to do this whole analysis all over again, which is very time consuming. But through our dashboard, they can just do it in like 2 seconds. We just have to increase the number of antennas, update it in our dashboard, and boom. Like there's the whole structure analysis. So this is what we do. So this is how we started it actually. So, hi, I am actually Devanshi. I am the co-founder of Exavision Labs.
And I am Daman. I am the CTO of Exavision Labs. So, yeah.
Want to check out more from the AWE Nite Orlando Immersive Intelligence Lab? Watch more talks and presentations from our incredible XR plus AI innovators. Thanks for watching, and please leave a like.
Nite Orlando.